So I mentioned earlier that I'm not a big fan of the forever loop. I've discovered that forever loops can really cause some problems when you want certain things to end and certain things to continue. In this case, it wasn't quite so bad. When the lives got to 0, we basically wanted to stop every single thing in the game. But what would happen if I wanted certain things to stop but not everything to stop? And the forever loop makes that really complicated. The other thing that you may not have noticed unless you were following along and really playing careful with this is even when the game isn't running, right? Even when the game isn't running, if I use my left and right arrow keys, I can move the monkey. And I don't know about you, but that actually bothers me. The monkey should only move when the game is running. And the way Scratch works, this just says whenever the left arrow key is pressed, go ahead and do this. And so I could actually solve both of these with one simple solution. And that is the idea of adding in a variable that decides that the game is actually on or off, running or over. So I'm going to make a variable called game on, and I want game on, temporarily I'll leave it here, I want game on to be yes when the game is running and no when the game is over with. And so I'm going to say when we do places everybody, let's turn the game on variable to on. And then the simple idea here is that in the bananas, when the lives reaches 0, instead of saying stop all, what I want to do is to set the game on variable to off. Okay, well, how does that actually help me then? Well, it can help me two ways. First of all, rather than using this forever loop, I only want to do all this when the game on variable is on, right? And so I can get rid of the forever block, and I can instead replace that with a repeat until block. I can say I want to repeat this until the game variable goes to off. And that's a little bit backwards way of thinking, sort of. I would actually prefer to say keep doing it while the game on variable is on. But Scratch doesn't do that. It actually does repeat until. So we're going to say repeat this whole block of code until game goes to off. And again, from a high-level perspective, I know that when the green flag is clicked, I do places everybody and wait. So this is part of places everybody. Game on goes to on, and then we broadcast game. So by the time broadcast game happens, the game on variable is set to on. And so when the bananas gets its game call, game on is on, and so we can start doing this because game on is not off, right? Again, this is a little bit backwards to me, but it says repeat until game on goes to off. And at the moment, game on is on, so we keep going because game on has not gone to off yet. And we keep going until this switches to off. Now, if I were to stop right here and show you this, or leave this right now it basically behaves exactly the way it did before, which is I can catch the banana and get a point, I can get out of the way and let the bananas hit the ground and lose a live, and I'm going to do that 3 times. Okay, and so we'll miss it again on purpose, missed banana number 1. Now we're going to miss banana number 2, so lives goes to 1. Now we're going to miss banana number 3, and when we miss banana number 3, lives is going to go to 0, and the game's on variable is going to switch to off. And because game on switched to off, this banana stopped falling, right? It's done. It says repeat until game on equals off. Well, it is off. So now we no longer do this. The game is over. And in fact, this makes it really easy to say, oh, I don't want those bananas showing. Instead, when this loop ends, let's add in hide so the bananas are out of the play. So that takes care of this. I no longer have the forever loop in here. But what it didn't do was fix the idea of left and right. I can still go left and right even if the game is not running, right? And so here's where I can fix that. What I want to say is if the left arrow key is pressed, I want to move -10, but only if the game is on. And so I can say if the game on variable equals on, then move 10 pixels to the left. And if the game on variable is on over here when the right arrow is pressed, then move positive 10. So I'm just going to pull this out of the way, put this in, and now notice how cool this is. Because now I can move left and right, because right now the game on variable is set to on, and so when I press the arrow keys, I get to move. Let me move out of the way. Lives goes to 2. Lives is going to go to 1. And we have to wait patiently here for this. But what I really want the point I'm really trying to make here is notice what happens on this last one. When this last banana hits the ground, lives goes to 0. The game on variable will change from on to off. And now I'm pressing the arrow buttons, and you can even notice that they're flashing up here on the screen right now, right? It's flashing right here. But because game on is in off mode right now, we're not changing the X by 10 and negative 10. I like this a lot better, and it's a tool that you're going to be able to use in other programs in other modes. So it's a thing I like to show you, even though it's not 100% necessary in this game.